Let's pray. Almighty God, who in wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Good morning, honorable members. Welcome to this morning's session. Let's proceed. Clerk can start us off.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
May I at this point invite Honorable Mbuva, Charles Mbuva, the Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, to come forward and respond to a statement that was asked by Honorable Mwanga. You are welcome.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for according me this opportunity to respond to this statement. My name is Charles Mbuva. I represent the people of Kangundo West in this house and also serve as a chairperson, Committee of Agriculture, Food Security, and Cooperatives. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 41-3 provides that where a member requests a statement from the committee chairperson relating to matters under the mandate of the committee, the speaker may either appoint a day for the statement or direct that the statement sought must be restricted to matters within the mandate of the committee and which have been exhaustively dealt with and concluded by the committee, or where the chairperson is authorized by members to issue preliminary report to the House. Honorable Speaker, on 7th November 2023, during the afternoon plenary sitting, a statement on beneficiaries on distribution of seeds to farmers in Masinga Central Ward by Honorable Joshua Mwanga, MCA Masinga Central Ward, was sought seeking the following. 1, a list of beneficiaries from Masinga Central Ward. 2, the criteria used to identify the beneficiaries in Masinga Central Ward. And 3, how many kilograms were given to each beneficiary. Honorable Speaker, in response to the above statement, the committee requested from the Chief Officer, Agriculture and Food Security, and the department responded to the aforementioned statement through a letter dated 10th November 2023 as follows. Total seeds received were 559 bales. which amounted to 13,416 kilograms of maize seeds. Varieties, the seed varieties were as follows. DH02, 12,696 kilograms. The variety H513, 720 kilograms. Total 2 kg packets were 6,708. The distribution, Madam Speaker, there is a table. Members can see a table. I will restrict myself to the slot for Masinga Central. Masinga Central Ward, amount received and distributed in terms of 2 kg packets, it's 1,620. The variety is DH02. The beneficiaries, adult, they are divided into male and female. Adult male, 1,081. Adult female, 2,159. Total number of beneficiaries, 3,240. Madam Speaker, you can also see there's a list for other wards within Masinga. The compilation was done for the whole sub-county, but I will restrict myself to Masinga Central because that is where the seeker of the statement wanted to know.
That is in order. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Further, the committee noted that the above response was generalized, yet the statement had requested for Masinga Central Ward specifically. The criteria used to identify the beneficiaries was omitted, and the attached list of beneficiaries had blank and blurry pages. The committee, through a letter dated 21st November 2023, did a reminder 1. And 12 February 2024, did a second reminder dated 8th April 2024, requested for the stated clarification. The Chief Officer, in a letter dated 11th April 2024, provided the following responses. A list of the beneficiaries from Masinga Central Ward. The list of beneficiaries is compiled and in a soft copy. The total number of beneficiaries was 3,245. See attached copy. There is an attachment. 2, the criteria used to identify the beneficiaries in Masinga Central Ward. The response is, we have Ward Agriculture Development Committee, which has been the structure used in the department since devolution, in implementing the 2 programs, the free seeds and seedlings and free tractor services. This is the committee which was revised for use at ward and sub-county levels. Additionally, faith-based organization representatives and lead farmer representatives. The composition of the Ward Agricultural Development Committee has the following members: Ward Agriculture Officer, Ward Livestock Production Officer, Ward Veterinary Officer, Ward Cooperative Officer where possible, Ward Fisheries Officer, Ward Coordinator, Ward Administrator, Assistant County Commissioner, Farmer Representative, Faith-Based Organization Representative, and political leaders. The list from the ward are ratified, endorsed by the sub-county committee, similar to the above in terms of composition, and then forwarded to the County Director of Agriculture for implementation. How many kilograms were given to each beneficiary? That was the last question. The response is 1 kg. That is, each packet of 2 kgs was shared amongst 2 beneficiaries. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Charles Bumper, for that response. I wish to call upon Honorable Joshua Monga to state whether the response is satisfactory or not.
Madam Speaker, I want to start by congratulating the chair, and I also want to inform the chair, that is the speaker, I'm a member of that committee. In the recent reshuffles, I was moved to the Agriculture Committee, and when I appeared in that committee for the first time, this was the agenda on the table, and I appended my signature to the report. I'm satisfied. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Monga, for that very good response there, that you are really satisfied with the statement. Mheshimiwa Brian.
Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Okay.
I want to commend my brother, Mwonga, Honorable Mwonga. This is a place to seek statements. And this is a place where we've been given mandate to come and seek statements. And I like the energy of Mwonga and the way that statement is well sought and well explained. Madam Speaker, I've risen, in fact, to commend the Chairman of Agriculture.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, maybe we are not privy to this, but there is a lot of work this Department of Agriculture is doing. It's only that we are not making, he's not shouting about it. But there is a lot of work which Department of Agriculture, through the chairman and the executive, are doing. I want to quote a few issues, in fact, Madam Speaker, which I want to highlight here. In my ward, we had outbreak of a disease which is commonly called lumpy disease. We call it in Kikamba, Ekondo. When I mentioned this to the chairman, he moved very fast. And Madam Speaker, I must say that within a span of the last 3 weeks, in Mwala we have been able to vaccinate over 300 cattle, cows, goats, and sheep. And in fact, I must say that since that vaccination started, we are seeing a drop in the infection levels. This is something we need to commend the Agricultural Committee. And I want the chairman to continue with that energy. At the same time, Madam Speaker, there is a lot of good news in the coffee sector, which the chairman is also not talking about. The executive has done a fantastic job on coffee sector, on milk, which I think, chairman, you need to start shouting, and you need to compliment Her Excellency the Governor for the work she's doing. Lastly, Madam Speaker, there is also very good news happening on these seeds. In fact, today I can say we are becoming food secure. Because, and this, what you have said, exactly happened in my ward. And if we go further and incorporate the assistant chiefs, and the process is very transparent. I'm urging the chairman, if budget allows, if you can add more seedlings, more seeds and seedlings, so that our people can become more food secure. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I was having a chat with the chairman. In Mwala, and especially the lowlands, Yatta and Masinga, our biggest source of income is cows, livestock. And I am urging the chairman, if he can do two things, and he has told me he's going to do it. Artificial insemination for our cows, so that we can start getting good breed of our livestock. And number two, there's something Mheshimiwa Mulu started with President Moi. In Mwala, we have over 120 cattle dips, which died after Mheshimiwa Mulu and President Moi also died. So they died with them. So I'm urging the chairman, agriculture, to see if they can revive these cattle dips so that our people can benefit. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Chairman, for doing a good job. This is the way to go. This is the house to ask questions. This is the place to be, and Mheshimiwa Mwanga, I stand with you fully. Thank you, my brother, for seeking such a good statement. Please continue seeking statements here so that they can be clarified. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Brian, and the committee has done commendable work. We need to applaud them for that, and then take into consideration the concerns that have been raised by Honorable Brian Kisila, artificial insemination and cattle dips. Put it into consideration. Honorable Kavyu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to join the rest in appreciating the good work done by the team on agriculture. But maybe on a different note, I think over and over we have insisted in terms of timings, because between November and now it's almost May, the seeds which the honorable member was seeking answers on, some are already in the markets because they were already harvested. So for depending on the urgency of some of the matters, we request that at least the duration taken before a response is given be shortened, even if it means allowing and facilitating the committees to work extra, so that, because for instance, that was November. Maybe there was a portion of people who had not received, and maybe that's why the member was seeking the statement, so that they can get the remedy. And it's the same case for all, because like now the way we are experiencing heavy downfall, if a statement is sought on what remedy needs to be taken, and it takes months, like the cases of flooding, if the response comes in July, then the intended purpose of the statement will have been overtaken by time. So we improve on the response turnaround, so that we can also get value. Because if it is late, the response might be good, but the remedy or the response that was required might already be overtaken by time. But thank you, and I also want to appeal to the entire House. For this House to be functional, let's borrow a leaf from the Agricultural Committee. Let's work as a team, and also whenever a committee has a business, it should not be the chair or a few people coming. If it is finance, if it is agriculture, whenever we have a business in the House, then it is very important for also the chairperson, as they present the reports, to have the other members of those committee fully backing the chairperson when presenting on this House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kavyu. I wish to I've also noted that the statement was actually requested on 7th of November 2023, and the response is coming in April 2024, and it has taken a while. And as Honorable Kavyu has put it, is sometimes a statement can take so long that it is objectives are overtaken by time. So let's look into it, that we make sure that we respond in time, not to lose the very meaning of the statement. Thank you. Honorable Diaz, then Honorable Ndawa, in that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Stephen Mwanthi, representing the great people of Kalakala, Katini Ward. Madam Speaker, I'll start by applauding the committee and the work that they've done. Madam Speaker, you'll realize that when this statement was being sought, the perception was quite different. The seeker of the statement and instituted that seeds or farmers were ferried from a Kalakala ward to Masinga, and it was like a Kalakala ward farmers and gone with all the seeds, only to realize that Masinga Central Ward and gotten the lion's share on that seeds distribution. And so I appreciate that the honorable member has also accepted the response from the committee, but now you find the problem is what was planted to the residents. It was like the residents got nothing, what they were told then. But now the good thing is that the truth has come out that the distribution was fair, and the honorable member has also accepted that. So we do appreciate the work that is being done by Agriculture Committee and the department itself. There are several other things that have been done by that committee, appreciating that these seeds, it was fortunate that the seeds were very, the seeds were very good, and in fact farmers got a very good harvest with the seeds that we got that season. So if our farmers could get the same next time, Madam Speaker, I can tell you Machakos County would be completely food secure. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable DS. Honorable Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And before I comment on what I want to say, I just want to inform you and the House that the chamber is not properly lit. We have members of different ages. So it is good to ensure that we have proper lighting. These bulbs were put there, the first assembly. And up to date, they are gone, fading. In the next financial year, maybe it will be dark. There is need to replace them.
Yeah.
So that especially when members are reading reports here, they can be able to see clearly.
Yes. That is noted, Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, I would want to say congrats to the chair and the committee for a very positive response on a statement sold my immediate neighbor, who happens to be my good brother, Honorable Monga. And I want also to take this opportunity also to congratulate him for playing the game in the right field. The right field. Honorable Speaker, if all of us, we can have that discipline. If it is football, we go to football field. If it is hockey, we go to where hockey is played. I'm very sure we will have a lot of sanity in this county. Honorable Monga has seen sense. The issue of requesting issues in barrios and other nini, now he has brought it in the right forum. And I'm very sure he can attest now. The noise he makes in the barrio, he doesn't get any answer. But now here, he has received a very positive response. And it's not Honorable Mheshimiwa Monga alone, all of us, including myself. If we want answers, this is the right forum where we are supposed to raise issues. Again, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the executive for the distribution of the seat that was done that time. Honorable Speaker, even in Matu, we received. And we want to say thank you because the type of seed that they brought was the best compared with other years. Last season, our farmers harvested a lot. And that is why you don't hear any noise. At least members of Machakos, or residents of Machakos are a little bit stable. So we request that we continue with the same spirit. The other issue that I want to need to share is that we need also to relook at the list of the beneficiaries who get the seats. We may find ourselves giving the same team. Come next season, the same team. Come the other season, the same team. We need at least to change. If we gave Farmer A, Farmer B or Farmer C seeds last season, and he harvested, why is it that next season is the one who is going to benefit again? Who will give the other members of that locality? So, Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting the Agriculture Committee to work closely with those who are on the field to ensure that the list changes, so that at least every house can get something. There is a saying in Kikamba, and it is most said in Mwala. In Kikamba, every house some milk. So it is good we ensure that at least everybody gets. But there are, of course, there are those who are stable who do not need, but there are others who are not stable and they don't get. So it is good to consider them. Otherwise, the government of Machakos has assisted the farmers, and we need to ensure that, since in the manifesto of His Excellency the President and in the manifesto of the Excellency the Governor, there was issue of food security. We need, when we are coming up with the next budget, we consider that. In fact, if you empower people on what we call food security, you will have solved many problems. Because when our residents have enough to eat, even the diseases will not be more. So I propose that in the next financial budget, we increase budget for agriculture. And I request the chairman, as you are trying to fascinate the animals in Mwala, remember we have animals in Matu. Mheshimiwa Kisila has commended you for good job, but me, I'm discrediting you because my farmers in Yata, Matu, did not get that service. So I'm requesting that you also be considerate. We have said, Mwala say, every house milk. So if you give milk to Mwala, ensure you also give milk to Matu resident. Otherwise, the statement has been well responded. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Very good concerns there. Having said that, I think the member who had requested the question has already expressed satisfactory, and thank you very much. At this point, I wish to invoke Standing Order number 1 to allow Honorable Kitetu to make a statement, to lay a statement that had been requested by Honorable Kavyu. The response was expected today, but it is not in the paper, the order paper. So I wish to allow Honorable Kitetu to come forward and respond to that request by Honorable Kavyu. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Frederick Kitetu Moya is my name, MCA Kombe Ward, and also the chairperson on environment and natural resources. Honorable Speaker, the following statement was sought on the floor of the House on 16 April 2024 by Honorable Kavyu, and it was committed to the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. What are the short-term and long-term measures the county government is making to, 1, ease mobility in affected area, given that the soil is, a stated area is black cotton soil, which at this time is water-launched, and the movement in the area has been very difficult.
Speaker, I'm raising understanding order number 41. And the member should be seated because I'm on my feet.
Have your seat?
Yes.
Then
yes, I've said I'm standing understanding order number 41. that is on statements. The member is responding to a statement which was sought by an honorable member. And Mr. Speaker, I think it is in order that all the other members should be having that response, because it is a response we would have to react to.
As I stated earlier, this statement was not in the paper order paper today, but I just invoked standing order number 1 to be able to to proceed and deal with it, so that we don't take a lot of time. We said we don't take a lot of time on statements that have been sought. I suggest, honorable member, you just listen keenly and hear what the member has to do.
Madam Speaker, I proceed. A, is mobility in the affected area, given that the soil is stated area is black cotton soil, which at this time is waterlogged, and movement in the area has been very difficult. B, prevent excess storm water from the flooding into the road and the villages and their related risks. C, ensure that the structures constructed within the area are undergone due to progress of approval. D, ensure individual and companies undertake backfilling by excavation done after excavating maram or building stone. Consequently, the committee wrote to the Chief Officer, Environment and Natural Resources via a letter dated 17 April 2024, ref number that, requesting him to submit a report on the above sort statement, which up to now a response has not been submitted to the Assembly. In this own initiative, the committee further conducted a site visit on 22nd April 2024 to Kinani Ward to assess the extent of effects of the flood, and is in the process of compiling a report on the same. Honorable Speaker, I therefore request that this House grant the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources 7 days to finalize its task. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. In fact, Honorable Monga, who has left the room, actually, the honorable member was actually requesting for an extension of time because they have not received any report from the executive on this matter. And I therefore take this opportunity to grant the same. 7 days are granted, hereby granted, so that in the next 7 days, that should take us to 30th of this month, you bring to this House a response. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of motion on establishment of youth centers and sports incubation centers.
May I at this point invite Honorable Anastasia Mutevu, special elect, to come forward and move that motion. Welcome, honorable member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Anastasia Mutevu, a special elect member by the Wiper Democratic Movement. Honorable Speaker, that aware the Machakos County as a wealth of untapped sports talent and amongst the youth which, when fully developed, can be a source of income. Further aware that Section 8 of the Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 provides that the government shall, in collaboration with other stakeholders, promote talent development for the youth through rehabilitation of talent development infrastructures such as incubation centers. Noting that the same act in Section 6 has proved that there be youth development initiatives which the relevant department shall ensure that the youth are equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes on socio-economic and political dynamics to enhance their capacity as youths and improve their living standards. Recognizing that many young people who could excel in sports are fallen victim to antisocial behavior like indulging into alcoholism, crime, drugs, and substance abuse. Cognizant that Kenya table tennis top-ranked player Brian Dunda Mtua honed his skills at Mwala Table Tennis Club and has continued to play in global tournaments, as well as many talented athletes like Cosmas Ndeti and Caleb Mwangangi, among others, who have emerged from Machakos and scale high heights internationally. Appreciating that the county government has vocational training institutions in all 8 sub-counties, and they can be used as sports hubs for indoor and outdoor games to nurture talents of young people in all sporting disciplines so that they can make a living from sports. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move a motion that this House discusses and approves the motion that the relevant department of the county executive establishes sports incubation centers within Machakos, within vocational training institutions, implements the youth centers established at Section 9 of the Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 to nurture sports in the county. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I call, my chair has left. I call upon Honorable Catherine Chair, member of that committee, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Catherine Mutevu. Honorable Catherine Chair, you are to second. Thank you, Honorable Member. I now propose that the question that this House discusses and approves the motion that relevant department of the county executive establishes sports incubation centers within vocational training institutions, implements the youth centers established at Section 9 of the Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 to nurture sports in the county. May I now invite members to debate on this matter. Members, it is your turn. May I have contributions? Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, sorry. I want to first of all to start by congratulating Mheshimiwa Ann for looking at bringing up the motion, which really would improve, enhance, and make sports part and parcel of this society. From the word go, she seemed to target the young people who have the energy and the time to engage in such sport. But what I like about it is that she seeks to integrate incubation of sports in vocational training, so much so that if you're looking to become a plumber, you can engage in an extra like basketball. So much so that if you are looking to be a mason, you can engage in football. Because most of the time, we are blaming our young people that they are going to their bases, and during their time in their bases, they are engaging in not so much good things. So it's part and parcel of making sure we capture there's so much time they have in their hands so that they do something constructive. Apart from that, sport is paying a lot of money. If you look at the sports industry across the globe, you'll find that most of the professions cannot earn as much money as sports does. A case in point is one Cristiano Ronaldo, a professional footballer who plays in some league in Arab. And this guy, at 40 or at 39, is making almost 10 million a week Kenyan shillings, because I don't know whether I'm right, because he earns $500,000 in a week. If you translate, that is a lot of money. So if we can have our own kids trying to look at sport from an economic model, then we'll be even creating jobs for them. Just on Sunday, there was a young man from is it Mboni, who won the London Marathon. So he has been incubated in Mboni, and he was representing Kenya in London. So what we are saying is that we can incubate young people from a sporting perspective, and they can represent us outside the country, within the county, outside the county, and also in international arenas. And we can help them be of good example to other young people, but also make a living out of it. So, Mheshimiwa Anastasia, thank you for thinking about that, and we hope the county government will be able to accelerate and put it in the next level. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ndaka, then Honorable Digital, then Honorable Kavio, in that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Ndaka, representing the great people of Tala Ward. Let me start by thanking the Honorable Anastasia Mutefu by saying this is a very good initiative. But Madam Speaker, I have one concern as I support the initiative. There were stadiums which were being started construction last year, and I have only one stadium in Tala called Tala Township, and the works were started last year, and it is now done only 40%, and the contractor has already decided the works. My concern is, if the residents of Tala and the great youth of the Tala, they don't have now a playing ground, and yet there was a contractor who was set to do the works. And if you visit that ground today, you can compare it with the Aero irrigation scheme in Kisumu, because the land is very green, full of waters, and it seems there is no concern to finish that ground. It is now my appeal to the Committee of Sports to visit that ground and make total recommendation to the executive to finish that ground as we move to the next step. As I sit down, I do support the initiative by my fellow MCA.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ndaka. It's a concern to have the stadiums completed, the ones that are incomplete. Honorable Digital.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Matthew Ndunda, Digital, Kangundo North Ward. I appreciate and echo my colleague MCA, that is Anastasia Mutefu, for this noble idea, especially toward our youth generation. On these measures, you find that our youth, indeed, they need this activity than yesterday, basing on measures whereby you find almost every elected leader here does conduct this form of forum or activities in his ward by encouraging the youth to be active and also to sensitize them to ensure that they are not involved on measures of illegal activities like drug abuse, And in the same case, as my colleague and majority leaders stated, this helps our youth to ensure that they are being talented and ensure that at least they can study what they can be good at. And this case, you find that is very important if we have these centers. For example, like in my ward, there is a government land, Kwakatunga. And you find Kwakatunga is a big land, more than 20 acres, and can be used. And in fact, the community had proposed for it to be a youth center, whereby it can activate this form of activity in terms of the sports. So it is very important, because by encouraging this in every ward, at least to have one case of sports centers and all that, you find that at least we are going to make generation as well, whereby you find in this form of talenting, we are going to model our community, not only in one forum, but also in all collective activities. There is athletics. Like, for example, last month, my colleague from Kangundo Central had such kind of activity whereby there was form of activities in terms of athletics, and there was form of rewarding. Youth were encouraged still to be part and parcel of this. So I support what Mutevu is bringing in this assembly, so as to ensure that our youth are very active. Our youth, at least they study and they get better know-how of their future. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Kavyu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support the motion that has been moved by Honorable Anastasia Mutevu, and also inform the Honorable Member who has just spoken. We don't have Mutevu in this house. We have Honorable Member Mutevu. And on the issue before the house, it's a very brilliant idea, and it will contribute to a large extent in ensuring that our people are empowered. And Madam Speaker, as we think of establishing the incubation centers, I think we are aware that we have Mavoko Stadium, Kinyui, Masi, and Ekombe that were targeted to achieve the same objective, but to date, for instance, like in Mavoko, only 10% of the works were done. So, Madam Speaker, I'll recommend that before even we start doing an entire new structure, let's see how Mavoko Stadium, Kinyui, Ikombe, and Masi, and Kinyui is in Matungulo. If those stadiums are done to the best standards, I think they can serve the similar objective that the Honorable Member is seeking to achieve. And for instance, if you look a place like Mavoko, in Mulolongo, Syokimau, we have a population of close to 500,000 people, and 50% of that population being young people. We don't have a single public place where these young people can go and play. So the incubation centers might be good, but there is the immediate need that we need to ensure that at least every ward has a place where these young people can go and do the basics. And the other thing that we might need to look at it is the aspect of where the incubation centers will be set. Because if we target to have them in our vocational centers, where they are also learning and students who come from different areas, it might have a challenge in terms of the management and also the security aspect of the students who are being trained in those schools. So it's a good idea, but we can look on ways on how we can utilize the public spaces that we have so that we can have these incubation centers and also challenge the committee concerned. maybe we can have the committee facilitated to go to places like in the Rift Valley, where we have these talent incubation centers, and get the details on where is the best place, or what are the conditions that facilitate that good environment for the people from that side to thrive, because the signs and the indication are there that Machakos, Makueni, and Kitui, there is that potential for us to generate great athletics. So a place like here in Misakwani, I think it's a very ideal area in terms of acclimatization. So if we are thinking of setting such clinics, we also need to get the basics right. It's not just a case of doing each in every ward, because if the target is to have athletes who can endure and withstand that pressure that comes with the coping with the climatic condition, then we also need to get it right, even if it means doing one for the county where athletics can come. That will help us achieve the objective. But it's a brilliant idea, and I fully support, because sports is an economic activity nowadays. It's not the ages where sports were being seen as a leisure or just something that was used to pass time, because as we were growing up, you could be severely punished by parents just for going to play football. But that narrative is changing, and we appeal. For instance, like in Tala, the honorable member has been complaining the reason why he has not advanced in terms of football skills is because there is no a particular field. But I don't think he still has the potential to reach and make money like Cristiano Ronaldo, because maybe of the age. But we can do it for the future of those who will come after him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Those are good insights. Honorable Diaz, then Honorable Ndawa, then Honorable Kitaka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Once again, I'm Honorable Stephen Mwande, representing the great people of Kalakala, Ekatini Ward. And Madam Speaker, I stand to support the motion that indeed, as a count, we need these sports incubation centers to help nurture talents that has not been tapped outside there. Madam Speaker, I've been monitoring our youths outside there. Some of them who are so much talented, but as a country, we've not been realizing or supporting them in any way. I'll give an example of two boys who were identified by former Masinga Central MCA, one Honorable Tariq, and because we worked together with him, I've been following those two boys. There were several boys, and I can tell you, next week we've got one boy by the name Kidome, who will be playing at Bahamas next week, and he comes from Masinga Central Ward. We've got another one by the name of Daniel Chumbe. They are two boys whom we've been monitoring and mentoring. That boy won rallies in Serbia, just like I think 2 weeks ago. And I believe we've got so many other talents, different talents, not only in sports, not only in athletics, but in all other fields. And if as a county government we could invest in those talents, we could have our youths who are, some of them are languishing outside there with drugs, we could have them probably helping them succeed in their life, or else getting a living, earning a living in those talents, especially in sports. So we do support such motion and request the county government budgets for those incubation centers so that we may start tapping those talents with our youths outside there. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa. I want also to participate in the business before the House, and I will start by congratulating our colleague. I call her the most able chair in education. This motion is timely, and I'm very sure, Honorable Speaker, what the statement seeks to achieve, if we go by that, I'm very sure we will get a lot of benefits. And the benefits mostly will be for our young ones. Honorable Speaker, the motion is very clear. I've heard what my colleagues who spoke before me, the contribution that they gave. But according to me, Honorable Speaker, if I was marking, I would give some of them irrelevant. I just can't want to say irrelevant. Because the motion is specific on vocational training centers. And the mover of the motion has gone ahead and said, we have at least one vocational training center in every sub-county. So, Honorable Speaker, as per the motion, we may not require a very huge budget to have what is requested being done, because we already have existing vocational training centers. What we need to do is to agree and maybe set a small budget to ensure that in every vocational center there is that incubation. And Honorable Speaker, if I heard what the mover of the motion was talking about, there are those who are enrolled in that vocational training centers, and there are others who are outside. They are not members of that school. The seeker of the motion is requesting that we also accommodate those talented young ones who are not in the vocational training centers and they are outside. We accommodate them so that they can nurture their talent there. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to support the motion 100% and call upon our youth also. As we establish these incubation centers, Honorable Speaker, let the youth come out also. We may establish the centers and fail to get the youth. Honorable Speaker, even when Jesus was taking his disciples, he did not go for any disciple at home. All those who are taken were found doing something. Let these young ones come out so that they can be identified in those fields. If it is football, we can see them doing that football. If it is another canter, we see them there. So, Honorable Speaker, the motion is timely and it is good, and I support and request the budget committee. We are now in the budget process. We are about to pass the budget. Some of the motions that we pass here in this house have to be backed by budget. So it is good now we take a stock of the motions that have been passed by the House, so that as we sit as budget committee, the chair can also consider including something to cushion or to support the initiation of the proposed project in the motions. So, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you very much. I can see the mover of the motion is consulting with the chair budget already. All right, Honorable Kitaka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Francis Kitaka, representing the Lani Ward, and I rise to support the motion that is sought to help our young men and women to nurture their talents through the establishment of the incubation centers. Honorable Speaker, we have quite a number of youths who are in our societies sitting idle because of the economic times also that we are facing as a country. And hence there is a reason for us to get some areas and spaces for them so that they can have, they can be able to practice and also come out clearly on the areas of interest for their own mentorship. However, the seeker, the honorable member, the mover, is suggesting that we host these particular centers in our VTCs. Honorable Speaker, many of our VTCs are not in good conditions. How, I wonder how we are going to make it work by use of these centers. However, this will require a collaborative approach between the Department of Sports and the Department of Education so that at least we can first identify the spaces and also come up with a budget that is required for us to make sure we achieve the intended good purpose of these incubation centers. Why am I saying this? It will be an opportunity, as our honorable member said, that we will be creating areas where we can absorb those who have not also had an opportunity to use the VTC centers. Because there are people who are not good in academics, but they can be good in skills and talents. So as I support this motion, I would request the Honorable House that when the time comes for us to allocate resources for this noble agenda, this noble activity that needs to run across our county, it is important that we sit, discuss, and make sure that we have proper arrangements so that we don't start a program that will abort before we accomplish or we achieve what we want. Otherwise, I support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Daka, you've already spoken. You are barred by the standing orders to speak again. All right, Honorable Wanjiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to start by congratulating Honorable Anastasia. This is a brilliant idea, which, if done in a good way, would impact the society and the youth, and also the young ones. Madam Speaker, I wish to emphasize what the previous speaker said, that not all minds are academically inclined. It is common knowledge, and that is why the Ministry of Education, in their wisdom, changed the educational system to the CBC, where they provided space for co-curricular activities to thrive, hence giving an opportunity to the ones who are not academically inclined to also thrive and shine in their field. This is a good idea, regardless of where the incubation centers will be placed. We also need, as we budget for the same, to also put in mind that we will need trainers, because some children are talented, but they have not been exposed to trainers to better their skill. Even when you are talented, you need skill so that you can be able to compete in the international platforms. So, Madam Speaker, I support, and it is my prayer that we do not just support motions and don't implement them. There are many motions that have been approved in this House, but they're yet to be implemented. It is my prayer that we do something so that as we leave this house, we leave a legacy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wanjiru. It is emerging that this motion is overwhelmingly supported, and it's a good idea that we need to move and have it. Say for the challenges of budget and all that, but that is something we can cure because we are the makers of the budgets. Members, at this point, I wish to call the mover to come and reply. Honorable Anastasia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank members in a very special way for supporting this motion, which is a very important motion. I did my good research before bringing it to the House. According to the research which was brought to GBV Center last time, it was reported that Machakos County had the highest early pregnancies with our girls. And I imagine that if we could be having these centers, they could help our girl child to get very busy. And also, not forgetting a boy child, you know, I have a special touch with the girl child. So I thank members. Our education committee, we did also a research on our vocational centers, and we found that they have a lot of land which is unused. So if we could tap this and bring them to our vocational centers, they have land at least every ward. I'm very sure it can be actualized, despite that we have the stadiums. The stadiums will be complete. They have a budget for that. I'm in the sports committee. We visited Kinyui, we visited Ikombe and Mavoko stadiums, and they are in use. The only stadium that we've not visited as a committee is Tala Stadium. And I'm very sure the governor is equal to the task. So the budget committee, we plead that you support this with small budget so that at least we achieve this. It could be of very help to our youths. I come from Mavoko, and Mavoko has a lot of youths that are idle, and they are very rich in talents. I play table tennis, and we don't have anywhere apart from the County Assembly of Machakos where we can do our practice. So thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members, for supporting my motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Anastasia. I now put the question that this House discusses and approves the motion that the relevant Department of the County Executive establishes sports incubation centers within vocational training institutions, implements the youth centers established at Section 9 of the Machakos County Youth Empowerment Act 2022 to nurture sports in the county. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. Ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. At this point, the House adjourns to Tuesday, 23rd April, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. See you then, members.